Today we're going to be looking at one and two step inequalities. So an inequality is something that is just basically not an equal sign. So this could be something like x is less than 4, or x is greater than or equal to -4, or x is less than or equal to 100, right? Just something that has, again, a variable on one side and a number on another in all of these cases. But instead of an equal sign, we have this little inequality. So it could be a bunch of numbers, right? We could choose for x to be, say, 0 in this case. 0 is less than 4. So yeah, that would work. Is 0 greater than -4? Yeah, that works too. 0 is less than 100. So 0 would actually work for all of these. But if I tried something like 5, is 5 less than 4? No, so I couldn't choose 5. Is 5 greater than -4? Yeah, I could pick it for that one. Is 5 less than 100? Yeah, I could pick 5 for that one too. So it's just any number that you could really pick. Something that you guys are going to have to do with this stuff, though, is say that we're given x is greater than or equal to 3. You're going to have to put it on a number line. So you're going to put the number that you're dealing with. In this case, it's 3. And I know that x is greater than 3. So I can pick any numbers that are bigger than 3. So I'm going to shade everything that way. Well, notice we shade the things that we can pick. Can I actually pick the number 3? Is 3 greater than or equal to 3? Well, yeah, because 3 is equal to 3, and that's what this little part down there means. So since it's equal to 3, I'm also going to make a little dot right at 3 that is shaded in, because I can pick 3. However, if we had something like x is just greater than 3, on your number line, we're still dealing with the number 3. We're still going to shade greater than 3 because it is the numbers greater than 3. But since I cannot pick the actual number 3 because 3 is not greater than 3, I'm going to leave this dot open since I do not shade the things that I cannot pick. Notice the difference between the two. Now I'm going to look at a couple of examples, just solving these real quick. Treat these things, these inequalities, just like they were equal signs when you are solving. They're pretty similar. There's only one thing that we're really going to have to keep in mind, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. So in this case, x plus 3 is greater than 4. I know that I need x by itself, and I need the number on the other side. So in order to do that, if I subtract 3 from both sides, then I'm going to be left with x is greater than 1. So I have a variable on one side, a number on another. There's my solution. Last step in these is just going to be putting it on a number line. I'm dealing with 1. I'm going to shade everything to the right because it says x is greater than, so I want to pick the numbers or the x such that it's greater than 1. Since it's just greater than and not equal to, I'm going to leave this as an open circle. That would be all you do for that one. In this case over here, I have x minus 2 is less than or equal to 7. So to get x by itself, I'm going to add 2 to both sides so that -2 plus 2 is 0. So x is less than, whoa, what is that? That's nonsense. Let's erase that real quick. And write x is less than or equal to 9. So if x is less than or equal to 9, throw this thing on your number line. You're dealing with the number 9. And it says x is less than, so it's all the numbers less than 9. And it's going to be a closed circle because it's less than or equal to. The next rule is very, very, very important to keep in mind when we are solving inequalities. When you divide or multiply by a negative number, notice the word by a negative number, you have to change the direction of the inequality. An example of this would be when we are taking x divided by -6 greater than 4, I would need to multiply both sides by -6 in order to make this be 1 on that side. So when I multiply both sides by -6, I have to change the direction of that sign. So I go ahead and circle it just to make sure I actually do that. So that then I have x is less than -24. Another case when you might see this is when you would have something like -4x is, I don't know, less than or equal to, let's say, 7. I would need to divide both sides by -4. So Since I divided by a negative, I'm going to change the direction of the sign so that x will be greater than or equal to negative 7 over 4. Don't believe me? Well, let's check this case. So if I'm going to check this over to this side, I have negative 4x less than or equal to 7. All this really does is save us time. So we need to have a positive x. So say if I need to have a positive x, I'll just add 4x to both sides. So that way I will have this be positive. So far I have 0 is less than or equal to 7 plus 4x. Then I would subtract 7. So I have negative 7 is less than or equal to 4x. Divide by 4 on both sides. So I have 1 and negative 7 over 4 is less than or equal to x. So x is greater than or equal to negative 7/4. Well, that's the same thing I have over here. X is greater than or equal to negative 7 over 4. They mean the same thing. All this really does, this rule is a time saver. So really keep it in mind. It'll help you guys a lot. So looking at another example, if I'm given something like 7x is less than or equal to negative 14, I know that I need to have a single x. So I'm going to divide both sides by 7. But be careful, since we're not dividing by a negative number, we're going to keep our sign just the way we see it. So I have x is less than or equal to negative 2. Last step, put it on your number line. So you have negative 2. X is less than, don't forget to read it from the variable. So we're going less than negative 2. So it's everything that way. Going to have a closed circle since it's less than or equal to. Very important. Okay, another example. Let's do 3 minus 4x is greater than or equal to 7. Okay, so first I need to combine like terms. So I have the 3 and the 7. So if I subtract 3 from both sides, then I will have negative 4x is greater than or equal to 4. Divide both sides by the negative 4. And notice I divided by a negative. So again, I divided by a negative. I need to circle that sign because I need to change which direction it is facing. So x is less than or equal to negative 1. Last step, put it on your number line. The number that you're dealing with is negative 1, less than or equal to. So I know I need to close my circle. X is less than, so it's going to shade everything to the left. So those are the numbers less than 0 or negative 1. Thanks. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Appreciate you guys watching.